Hey y'all, I cannot believe this mess I just heard. Did Birdman actually stand up Toni Braxton at the altar? Come on in, let's just talk about it.
This is the Demia Avery Show, hosted by Demia Avery, where some of your favorite entertainers, celebs, and entrepreneurs come to highlight all of their many talents.
Hello, everyone. This is Demia Avery with the Demia Avery Show. And thank you once again for joining me on today's entertainment report. Now, you know what to do. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. If you're anywhere else, hit that like and share. So, we got a lot to report today, a lot of crazy stuff. So, hold on to your seats for this one, guys. So, we're going to start off today. I had to take a breath on this one. Okay, so Toni Braxton and Birdman. So if you can remember, earlier in the week, was it earlier in the week or last week? I don't remember. But anyway, y'all remember me reporting that Toni Braxton and Birdman had got secretly married. And then she had filed for divorce 2 weeks after that. And I was like, I wonder what happened there. And, they're supposedly still trying to work things out, but I wonder what happened because within the 2 weeks, um, if someone files for divorce in 2 weeks, something drastic had happened. And I knew it, I knew it, I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. So before I get into the tea, and it's rumored, so it's allegedly. So first, I want to give a shout out to Tisa Tales because she had gotten some scoop. So if this is true, I can see why she would have filed in 2 weeks. So let's get into the dirt. Okay. Apparently, now again, this is rumor. On the day of Toni and Birdman's wedding, Birdman, they were up there getting married and everything. Toni is in her white dress and Birdman's not there. He arrives hours later. She's sitting there waiting for him. He arrives hours later. And when he finally gets there, he's like, hurry up. I want to get this over with because I got something else to do. What? He has something else to do. And guess what that something else to do is? He has to go do something for Kimora Lee Simmons. I was like, you have got to be kidding. And again, this is just rumor. Supposedly, he had to hurry up and leave the wedding to do whatever he needs to do for Kimora Lee Simmons and get out of there. Now, if that is true, yeah, that's a fight in itself. And I would have been like, I'm not marrying him. I'm not marrying you. Are you crazy? So this is the deal. I guess it's rumored. I didn't even know this. I don't even know why I didn't know this. There's rumors out there that Birdman and Kimora Lee Simmons had an off again, on again fair type situation since 2014. Even when she was with, and then they say even when she was with Russell, and then with the man that she's with now, Tim Lesner. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name. So, and also Russell Simmons came out and supposedly debunked the rumors and said, no, she's married. Her and Birdman not having this affair. Whatever, Russell. Being married doesn't mean you're not having an affair. So, whatever. But Birdman, I think in 2014, there's an Instagram post of him actually making a confession and saying how Kimora was the love of his life. Now, you usually don't say that about just a friend. So it's probably some truth to that rumor that they had some on again, off again thing. So to me, Toni, if you're going to marry somebody that you're still going to marry somebody that will, first of all, show up late, regardless of what he has to do afterwards, to show up hours late and have you sitting there at the altar, you probably didn't want to marry him anyway. But the fact that you still did, that makes me question your motives as well. Because, okay, I'm thinking to myself, what's the issue, Toni? You still marrying this man? It cannot be because you loved him. I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that. But okay, maybe you love him, I guess. But I think it's more than that. I think it's more than that. And if I had to guess, and I truly can't, I'm not in Toni's brain. I'm not in Toni's brain. I can't say for total sure. But I'm going to say 80% sure it's got to be because you're marrying this man for something. You're still marrying him. And I'm assuming it must be his money because there is no way that I would sit there and wait for you. And then you still, when you finally get there, you rush the wedding and then you go off to leave to help another woman. Sorry, it's not happening, boo. It's not, it's not happening in Rain Man. Y'all know when he fell asleep in that video on stage. So no, it's not happening. So you know what? I had to go and check and look at some stats and see how much Birdman is actually worth. Okay, because I was like, you got to be hanging in there for something. So, according to research, Birdman's net worth is estimated to be around 150 million. Toni Braxton's estimated net worth is around 10 million. And then Kimora Lee Simmons' net worth is estimated around 80 million. So if I was a betting sister, I'm going to say it's about the money. And y'all know Toni Braxton had some issues with money before. And I know she does a lot of touring and stuff now. She's probably not doing super duper great with her album sales or her music sales. She's probably doing more money, making most of her money touring and performing and stuff like that. So she's probably, in the way that I hear, I don't know, but she has an expensive taste. She has an expensive lifestyle. So she's probably with Birdman. Not to say that she doesn't have love for him or she doesn't love him, but some of that I'm sure has to do with his money. Kimora Lee Simmons, Kimora is about the money for sure, for sure. I can't say what kind of feeling she has for Birdman. I don't know, but you know that girl is all about that paper. So look, I hope they get this sorted out. But Toni, I'm gonna say, sis, what are you trying to work out? Because if they've been creeping on and off, do you think the buck stops with you? Because I'm seriously doubting it. Because he did that at your wedding. So I don't know what you guys think about the rumor. Let me know. Let me know. I honestly, I hope that there's no truth to it. I hope that, I don't know, he got sick and he didn't show up. Because I would hate that for any woman, you know? So, anyways, moving right along. That's crazy as I can't. All right, so Serena Williams. Serena Williams, she denies Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl gig was a petty dig at Drake. So she's denying that she did that whole Super Bowl dance, and when I can't even think of the song. What's the daggone song? Oh my God, I'm getting old. But she did the whole performance and stuff. She's denying she did that just to get back at Drake. She says her and Kendrick, they have been discussing doing something before, for quite a while. She just wasn't sure what that something was going to be. And then when he presented it, she was like, okay, and then she says, I'm like, wait, you asking me to do this? She said, I'm not like Taylor Swift or anybody. Basically, why are you asking me? But again, she agreed. And then she, according to the reports, William went on to reveal that she and her team did have conversations about the possible negative feedback that she was going to get from it, um, and also mainly due to the scrutiny she faced over a decade before, and that she had when she had did the crip walking dance before at a tournament. So she had gotten a lot of backlash for that. So she said they did discuss that, but she says, I respect how people can see, can feel like this would be a dig at Drake. And obviously, I can see how someone would think that, but absolutely not. I have never had negative feelings towards him. I don't know if I believe that, because if you're in a relationship, sometimes you fight, but maybe I guess she's just saying she wouldn't go that far. Maybe that's what she's saying. She said, we've known each other for so many years, so she wouldn't go that far to get back at him. But I wanted, you would have to know that people are going to definitely think that. So I guess she was just like, well, I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to take my opportunity and take my shot. But in this interview, at least she kept it classy. At least she kept it classy, and she said, "No, I have no ill will towards the man. I moved on. He's moved on, and that's that." So that's that for Serena. She's a classy chick. I'm glad for her. And speaking of Drake, it's a little bit of Drake news. I'm going to have to read this. So, according to All Hip Hop, Drake claims Kendrick Lamar used the Super Bowl show to assassinate his character. Probably. Probably. But okay, so the article says Drake has expanded his legal battle with Universal Music, filing a 107-page amended complaint targeting Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl and Grammy performances. The updated lawsuit filed in New York on Wednesday, April 16th, argues that Lamar's performance, Not Like Us, during the 2025 Super Bowl halftime show, broadcast to 133 million viewers, was orchestrated to assassinate his character. The complaint points to the NFL's decision to remove the word pedophile from the television version as proof that both the league and Universal recognize the lyrics' defamatory nature. Drake's legal team also cited 2024 Grammy Awards were Not Like Us won both Record of the Year and Song of the Year, and was performed live to an audience of 15 million. The complaint argues that this further spreads the song's message and intensifies the reputational damage. The rapper's attorney claims Universal either turned a blind eye or actively worked with outside parties to boost the song's streaming numbers through bots. Well, yeah, it probably. I mean, they're trying to get their money. But, y'all had that beef, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, Kendrick, he did his thing. He did his thing. Y'all have that beef, and it is what it is. Um, I don't know what else to say about it. It is what it is. So we'll just see how this legal battle goes with Drake and Kendrick and Universal. So, anyways, what y'all think about it? Was it intentional or not intentional? Well, he did say Drake. So if that wasn't intentional, I don't know what is. But anyway, I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye.